Winston Churchill's failures and success single-handedly changed the course of British history. Today, we're gonna look at this amazing journey not just from a historical angle, but from a psychological one. If you wanna roll with us and learn the lesson from this extraordinary man, hit subscribe and stick around till the end. Winston Churchill, unlike Abraham Lincoln, who, like you saw in the earlier video, was born in a humble little cabin, Churchill was born in a huge mansion that British government had given to his family in thanks for his grandfather's services and his victory over Germany. Churchill's dad was a politician and his mom was a wealthy American. Basically, he grew up rich, but his parents didn't pay much attention to him, and his nanny, Mr. Everest, played the motherly role. Winston loved her a lot. Winston didn't get top marks in school, he wasn't into studying, but he liked history and literature like me. Because of that, his dad told him, if school's not your thing, you should go to the Sandhurst Military Academy. But Churchill failed there too, though he was interested in the military and war, so he didn't give up and got in on his third try. One point I should make right now. Winston was never taught the idea of failure or despair. After graduating, around age 20, Churchill was sent to India, Cuba, and Sudan. In India, he learned a lot in his own, and then the Sudanese tried to break free from British rules. The Brits said, "No way, we are letting that happen." Churchill was part of that force and fought them British guns against Sudanese, so you can guess who can win this match. One more thing, Churchill had a speech problem, a lisp. So he spoke with a bit of a lisp, but Sir Felix Simon told him he needed practice and persistence. So Winston practiced certain phrases and would say, "My speech defect will not stop me." A study called Grift by Angela Duckworth showed that the combo of perseverance and long-term passion predicts success way more than raw smarts or high IQ. That's why I thought courses at West Point found that students who had grit were 54% more successful than the others. Back in England, Churchill wanted to build a reputation, so when he was offered a high-pay reporting gig covering Sudan and South Africa, he jumped at it. Turns out the pay was high because it was dangerous. The train Churchill was on was attacked and he was captured. He told them, "I'm an impartial reporter, you can't hold me." But they weren't having it. He was imprisoned for a while and learned how to escape. When he saw the guards parting, he climbed the fence and got out, then hid. He had heard someone say you might be able to escape, but it's easy to get caught. And they really hunted for him. He managed to get help from an Englishman who owned a coal mine, escaped, and made it back to England. His story blew up in the papers and made him famous. Martin Seligman in the 1960s showed that dogs who received inescapable shocks later gave up, even when escape was possible. That experiment proved that believing you can control events is crucial to not surrendering. Churchill, despite his failure, never felt like he's a victim of circumstances. That mindset is basically the opposite of learned helplessness. Churchill decided to go into politics. He started out in the Conservative Party, and back then people rarely switched parties, but he saw his path to success with the Liberals and switched, showing he wasn't tied to one party or fixed mindset. He held various offices. In World War I, he played a big part because supplies and munitions were under his watch. Churchill felt he had a mission that God had put a duty on him to serve. Of course, victory doesn't always follow you. As First Lord of the Admiralty, he pushed the plan to attack the Dardanelles, a strategically important spot Britain had to control. But even with a massive British fleet, the campaign ended in a heavy defeat at the hands of Ottoman commander Mr. Ataturk. Churchill's plan ran into execution problems and he had to resign. Churchill didn't fall, he didn't know the word quit. Yes, absolutely, he didn't know the word quit. And after that, he went to the front lines and served. After a while, he returned to politics and became Chancellor of Exchequer, and no setback stopped him from going after big responsibilities. After World War One and Treaty of Versailles left Germany humiliated, Churchill saw the rise of a man named Hitler and was the prime minister. But when Germany moved to the Czechoslovakia, no one stopped them. Churchill understood Germany was gearing up for a new war. They were waiting for a chance to take revenge on Britain, France, and other countries. Hitler conquered France and other European countries, and Britain had no land route. So the fight came from the air in 1940. When Britain was close to collapse, Churchill became prime minister. His first speech, he promised nothing but blood, toil, tears, and sweat, and urged people not to surrender. That stand was key against despair. A famous picture from June 5 in 1943 shows him on Downing Street flashing the V sign. Churchill dug huge tunnels and built shelters for people so bombs couldn't reach them. Even when Hitler made rockets that could tear the ground apart, Churchill had those shelters dug nearly 30 meters underground. He even ran communications weaving under the ground so phone lines wouldn't get cut if rockets hit. In the end, when Germany's defeat became certain and the Soviets came in from the east and the Allies from the west, Britain prevailed. But Churchill lost the 1945 election. He said, "That's okay, that's democracy. The people right now don't want a wartime leader." During the years he wasn't prime minister, he traveled to clubs, universities, and academies giving a speech about the war. He became a master orator and was invited anywhere. In 1953, he won the Nobel Prize in Literature and thanked the public for the honor. Churchill became prime minister again and he never gave up. From the first and last time in 1965, Churchill finally surrendered. He passed away, and his words and legacy continue to inspire people who want to fight the despair. What we learned from this video: first, Churchill believed he could control his destiny and never surrendered. Second, he focused on the future, not on past events. Third, he aimed for long-term goals. He focused on final victory, not temporary moves. Finally, researchers recommended preventing helplessness, but identifying the cause of failure and focusing on solutions. That's what Churchill did time and again. Churchill's history proved that failure is part of the path to success. By accepting failure, trying again, and keeping a long-term view, you can overcome despair and inspire others. If you like this video, smash the like button and subscribe. We are gonna study the lives of great people and use their lessons in our own lives. Thank you.